What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a vintage loose graded Star Wars market update. And it does seem like all of the good inventory is over across the pond. UKG is firing out the loose graded figures left and right while AFA is working through their backlog. And as a result, it just seems like, at least on eBay, all of the good stuff is over on your side of the pond. We don't have many AFA graded examples in this video. Almost all of them are UKG graded, but it spans the gamut. Lots of really good stuff. I think I've got one CAS item, maybe a half a dozen AFA, and the rest are UKG. So I'm jealous of you guys over there because you don't have to pay the crazy shipping fees that we got to pay over here to get some of your UKG gems over here. So let's dig in. Now, we got two different no COO Stormtroopers, and they both ended, kind of around the same time, two different sellers. But I was interested to see how the prices would compare because they were exactly the same for the most part. This one was a no COO Stormtrooper, so this probably appeared on like Palatoy or Tri-Logo card back. Straight 85s for the sub score, UKG 85. And the winning bid on that was 119 US dollars, or about 97 pounds, which seems like a great deal. Keep in mind the shipping, at least for us over here, was another $47. A different seller had this one. This one was also a no COO Stormtrooper, UKG 75 or 85, excuse me, and straight 85 subscore. So the exact same figure, yet this one sold for 122 pounds, which was 150 US dollars. So this one sold for 97. This one sold for 122 in terms of pounds. I mean, that's a 20% difference. And given that they're exact same item, that's a pretty incredible price difference. So maybe it's photos, maybe it's just the timing, but one of those ended on September 17th at 11:54. This one ended at September 17th at 11:05. So we're talking 9-minute difference for the exact same item, yet it was a 20% price difference. Crazy. Next up was a UKG 80% Leia Hong Kong, first 12. And that one sold for 143 pounds, which is $175. And then here is an 85% Hong Kong Leia. That one sold for 200 pounds, which is 245 US dollars. So not the exact same comparison as the Stormtrooper, but in this case, we're going from the same figure, same COO, but changing grade from 80 to 85. And the difference in price in terms of dollars was 175 versus 245 US dollars. So pretty interesting there. Let's take a UKG break. We'll come back. Now let's dig into some AFA figures that sold over here in the US. First was an AFA 80 plus no COO Han Solo, and it's very rare you find an AFA graded example of this figure, since these, again, with no COOs, they usually appeared on Palatoids or Tri-Logo card backs, so we don't get a lot of no COO loose graded figures over here, at least by AFA. That one sold for $127.50, and I think that's kind of in line with market. They also had an AFA 85 Death Squad Commander, and this one was the dark blue emblem. So it looks light blue to me in the photos there, but it's labeled the dark blue, and it was beautiful, though. Look how bright and shiny those gloves and boots are. Beautiful example, and again, it sold for big money, $260. I think, that's a price I would have been willing to pay if I could have afforded it. I was going for another item in this auction lot, and I lost it anyway. But this one was the long eye tubes Tusken Raider AFA 80 plus. This is the exact same item I have. I think I paid 170-ish for mine shipped, but it's been a while now. It's been probably close to a year. This one sold for $227.50 plus $8 shipping. And then here's another Tusken Raider. This one was an AFA 85. This was not the long eye stalks. This one was just the dark brown paint Hong Kong variant. So there's the regular Hong Kong. There's the dark brown paint. There's the long eye stalks. There's the hollow cheeks. There's this, all kinds of different variants out there that AFA can grade. But this was a beautiful archival case. And this seller had some beautiful archival high-grade figures that I went on my bid on. This one I did not. This one I already have. This one sold for $240 plus $10 shipping. They had the Orange Eye FX7 Medical Droid, AFA 85. That one sold for $130 plus $10 shipping. Here was a beautiful Han Solo Hoth. This one was the flesh face tan pants, and I believe it was the Hong Kong the Hong Kong AFA 85 plus. Now it was the older case style, but it still sold for $317. So at least for this one, this was a case where buyers were willing to pay up a little bit just because it's not very often you find an 85 plus or even a 90 for a Han Hoth. There's lots of nooks and crannies and different paint applications on that. The legs and the feet and the gloves, the white of the gloves. There's all kinds of places where this figure can go wrong in terms of grading. So to get an 85 plus is tough to do. And so 317 took that home. Here was an AFA 85. This one was the join visor COO on leg Hong Kong. So AFA fairly recently, over the last year or so, they started denoting the COO on the leg versus the back of the calf. And then univisor versus the split visor. So, and this one was the join visor AFA 85 archival case, brand new case style, beautiful figure, and it sold for $256. So, I think the archival case, I mean, if you're going to be submitting stuff to AFA, I think we've seen enough data points now on on eBay where if you spend the extra money to get the archival cases, especially on these white figures, collectors are willing to pay up for it. So that's my only advice. And this is something I've talked about with Scott H. and a few other of you guys that watch my videos. If you're going to be submitting stuff to AFA when they start loose grading again, which they should be fairly soon, given that they're almost through their backlog, go ahead, especially on the white figures. I'm not saying for everything. I'm not saying General Madine needs an archival case. But for a white figure like a Leia or a Stormtrooper or a Hoth Stormtrooper, I would pay up for those archival cases. That's money well spent. But that one did sell for $256. Here's the one I bid on, and it's another white figure, and it was an archival case AFA 85. Cloud Car Pilot. I still don't have a loose graded Cloud Car Pilot, despite my pretty decent run I've got going of mint on cards and the revenge proof. I still don't have a loose graded, and I saw this one pop up and I was like, oh man, it's an archival case AFA 85. I'm gonna bid on it, and sure enough, I finished second place. So I bid $235, which I thought was pretty fair, plus $10 shipping, but I still lost. $236.90 was the winning bid, so I lost out by one on that one, but it's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I've got plenty of toys, okay? But that is one I'd like to get next year, or if another one pops up. But that was a beauty. $236.90 took that home. And if you're watching this video and you want it, I'm shaking my fist at you. I don't really care. It's okay. I'm okay. Here is a beautiful archival case, AFA 80 plus blonde-haired Luke Bespin, brand new case style. That one sold for $203.50. Pretty decent price there. But again, I think people are paying up just a little bit for those archival cases, just especially with Luke Bespin is another good example of one I would pay up for, because that torso can discolor really easily on certain factory examples for that Luke Bespin. Next up was an AFA 85 paleface pink hands Leia poncho. This one was not an archival case, but that's a beauty. That's a beauty. This is kind of a sneaky figure in terms of trying to get one that's expensive, that's high grade. They tend to go up in price a little bit, and even ungraded because of that little blaster. Very pricey. This one sold for about $180. And then there was an AFA 85 R5D4. This one sold, and I was surprised by this price. It sold for $284. It's just a standard 1978 Hong Kong. I was kind of shocked, really, that it sold for that high. I mean, I think I paid $180 or maybe $200 for mine, and it's the exact same. Admittedly, AFA screwed up the recasing on mine, and now I've got kind of a split leg thing going on. I got a gymnastics variant for R5D4, but this one was very clean, and it did sell for a lot of money, though, $284, big number. Back to UKG graded examples before we finish off with one really hot CAS item. This was a Taiwan green lightsaber Luke Jedi, molded face though, which is always a pretty pricey one. And this one was graded 85%, 90, 85, 85 were the subscores. So case fresh on this bad boy, 207 pounds, which is $254, good price there. And then here's the blue saber version of the Luke Jedi snap cape. And this one is the Hong Kong Snap Cape blue lightsaber. So that's a beauty right there. And that one sold for 300 pounds, which is $368 US. Another very desirable variant among Luke Jedi collectors is that molded face Luke. It's a very expensive variant. This is another one that I would have liked to have bid on, because it's the last kind of major variant I need for the TIE Fighter palette, and that's the no COO. These would appear on Palette Toys again, or Tri Logos, but I've got 4 or 5 different variations for the TIE Pilot. I've got the PBP, I've got the Letty, I've got the Hong Kong, I got the China, but I don't have the no COO, and this was a beauty, and it does not pop up often, and it only sold for 102 pounds, or 125 US dollars. So I'm kicking myself for not bidding on it. I unfortunately was in the middle of bidding on a few of those other gems and lost out on everything the last weekend. So I was bidding on some of those UKG Spanish figures. I was bidding on the AFA 85 Cloud Car Pilot. So I let this one go. And of course, I lost everything. So I really wish I'd bid on this one now, because that's one I still need. But that one did sell for 102 pounds. Next up, let's dig into some Lily Lettys. This was a beautiful Lily Letty prune face, UKG 80. That one sold for 83 pounds, which is 102 US dollars. That is a bargain. You can't even get it for that cheap, ungraded in the Facebook group. So I don't know why that went so cheap. Here was a UKG 60% Lily Letty R2D2. That one sold for 140 pounds, which is 171 US dollars. Again, that's a price that this can go for ungraded all the time, so I thought that was a good deal. A UKG 90% made in Mexico squid head. This one sold for 100 pounds, which is 122 US dollars. This is a 90% Lily Letty squid head for that price. That is incredible. And this is, I guess, a case of just some of these figures falling through the cracks because of those other beautiful Spanish POC figures and some of the other incredible variants that were selling for big boy money that I already covered around the same time in a different video. But that was a deal right there. Another good deal was this Lily Letty Lando Calrissian. This is the correct made in China COO for the Lily Letty. And, you know, I've got an AFA 80, and I can promise you I paid a lot more than $125 for it. This one sold for 102 pounds or $125. I think for my AFA 80, I spent about $300 to $350, somewhere in that ballpark. So this was a really good deal. There was a lot of them that just fell through the cracks. But lastly, this is an example of another item I sent out through my to my Patreons in my Patreon exclusive What to Buy Buy It Now alerts. It's separate from my What to Buy videos. If I see a Buy It Now item on eBay and I'm between videos, my Buy It Now videos or my What to Buy videos, I sent this one out and it sold very quickly thereafter. I don't know if a Patreon supporter bought it or not, but it was a CAS 85 Luke Stormtrooper, and the coin and the figure were both graded 85. So beautiful example on that one, kind of custom encased with the coin. That's a really nice one. I mean, obviously mint on card for that Power of the Force Luke, you're talking, you know, in high grade, easily $2,000 to $3,000. So this one was listed for $900, and the best offer that was accepted was $801. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, assuming that that's the black. It looks like the solid black blaster to me, but beautiful example, beautiful encasement style. And, you know, again, I sent that out. I don't know if any of my Patreon supporters bought it or not, but it sold pretty quick thereafter that. So anyway, that's all I really had for this video. Thanks as always for watching my coverage of UKG, CAS, and AFA loose graded gems. Thanks again, and I'll be back soon.